I've been working on finding healing from betrayal, and I have felt with my husband's infidelity. He is almost 2 years sober and has been working 12 steps, watching videos, making daily calls to reach out to other recovery PA. I've been watching the courses on Bloom, UBloom, reading books, websites, etc. for almost 4 years now. My question is this. We have a fairly good recovery routine going, but every time we try to be sexually intimate, the pain is still there. It's easy to push away for one or maybe two times, but then if we continue being intimate, the pain of what he has done is too much. We will take several months break in between being intimate because of this. How much longer will the pain last? Does it ever fully go away? Or is it something I have to accept each time we try to be physically intimate with each other? Thank you for taking time to listen to my question. I want to just say thanks for the question. This is one of the common questions that we get, and it has to do with how do we rebuild trust in the intimate, sexually intimate way when we're being intimate. The memories, experiences, the fears, the feelings come back. So one of the things that and every case is different. So I want to be sensitive to, there's other possible responses, but your response is probably one of the more common ones that I hear, especially when couples start working recovery. They bump into things like this. And so one of my first responses to this is what you're experiencing is quite normal. But then we have to ask the question, what can we do to help you? And I think the underlying part of this may be because it sounds like you start and then you pull back, and you start and you pull back, or in other words, you have sex, and then it's overwhelming and emotionally overwhelming. So what I would want to do is I would focus on the physical sensations, the thoughts, the memories, the beliefs at those times. Because I think what's likely happening is that there's something that's still there, a belief about your husband, a belief about yourself, a belief about the relationship. And I think it's important that we honor that part and give that part a voice. Because we need to understand, so to speak, that fear, that concern, that worry, whatever it is inside. And I think that that part of you needs a voice and to feel understood and to feel validated. So for me personally, I would spend time as a therapist in helping you give a voice to that part of when you start to feel yourself pulling back, because sometimes you're able to enjoy it, it sounds like, and then something happens or triggers. So I would look to see if I could help you identify the trigger. And then I would want to give a voice to that fear, the pain, or the concern in that moment. Now, the idea that it will never go away, I think some of the remembrances may linger and be there for an extended period of time. And I don't know how long. But that does not mean that you can't be authentic and real with your own body, your own feelings, your own sensations, and learn to communicate about that with your husband in a way, and if he's really in the recovery process, that he too will understand. So I guess the core part I'm trying to get at here is there communication between the two of you? Are you able to listen to your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, physical sensations, and give a voice to that part of you? And then the other part of it is being able to identify those core beliefs that come in those moments, a belief of not being safe or a fear of being hurt again. Again, I would want you to give a voice to it because I don't want to assume that I know what you're feeling, but I think it would be helpful to be able to identify those things. Anyway, that's a starting point. But if you really are getting stuck there, consistently, say in another 3, 4, 6 months, a year from now, I think that's probably a thing I would take to my therapist and try to address those things that I've identified. If you can do those things on your own, then you could do that perhaps without a therapist. But I think because you guys are already doing a lot of work, I guess is what I'm saying. But if you find yourself getting stuck there, I'm looking for physical sensations, beliefs, and thoughts around that, so that part has a voice. Anyway, I hope that's helpful to you. May you and everyone else who's dealing with similar issues may be blessed in understanding how to proceed and go forward. It's a very common thing. And my hope is that your husband is sensitive to those things and that you're able to talk openly about them. Sometimes that's one of the core turning points, is just being able to talk about it and then be able to safely talk about it in those moments where you feel like you need to pull back. And then how do we do that? Anyway, I hope that's helpful to you.